Okay, I lied. There are really 8 reasons why gold is more influential than ever before, and I'll explain what they are in this video as we explore. That's right, the 8th one is a bonus, but you're going to want to hear why gold is so crucial these days, more so than we've seen ever. And it's pretty amazing because when you think about it, we live in a digital world of NFTs, ETFs, and digital this and that. Even our dollars have become digital. In fact, you're not seeing as many of these notes running around, or, you are, but not as much, because mostly the dollars are printed out of thin air. Indeed, that's the kind of world we live in, but gold really does still stand up to all that. I'm going to be referencing in part a piece that is from the Contrarian Capitalist, from a report that was given, and this report is called In Gold We Trust. And it gives us some takeaways, and we're going to go through those because I think it's important to understand what they're talking about with regards to gold. But before we get to that, gold comes in a variety of different sizes. In fact, I have this display out here on purpose. This is all fractional gold. Of course, you might be thinking to yourself, well, what about this? Yes, that is fractional gold too. That is 0.96 ounces. That's not a full ounce of gold. There, but nonetheless, I wanted to show these pieces because you can buy gold in fractions of an ounce, and most of the premiums have come down on those considering how high the price of gold has gotten. And it also illustrates that when the price of gold goes up, well, you must be agile, and that's why I have been buying more fractional gold as of late. So there are 7 pieces of gold here. I'm going to go through each one of them, and that will correlate to the number of the takeaways and the reasons why gold is so crucial these days. And it just goes to show you that you got to be agile, and you got to understand what's going on here. And I think first of all, we got to start with Saudi Arabia. And I'm going to use this as number 1. This is a sovereign, a young sovereign from Queen Victoria's age, and this one happens to be, I believe, an Australian sovereign, if I'm not mistaken, based off of the mint mark here. That's Melbourne. And so just goes to show you how widespread empires are and how crucial it is. And of course, Saudi Arabia has played a big role in providing oil to around the world. Of course, they had the Aramco disc, and I talked about that on my channel sometime as well too. But influential, and Saudi Arabia is one of the key aspects here. One of these takeaways, they will play a big part in the precious metal space moving forward. They are pretty much involved in everything right now, especially on the sports front. It also has superb access to a lot of untapped mineral wealth, including gold. It's a country that has a lot of ambition. And it's not a surprise to read that the kingdom is partnering with multiple mining companies in order to fully explore the potential of the Nubian Basin. So we're going to keep an eye on what they're doing. And, and you think about how important gold is in the Middle East, no question about it. But no matter what size of gold you get, whether it be 2.2354 ounces or 1 grams, you can get those. Summit Metals has these cool wallets, and you can fill them up with little grams or 1/10 ounce sizes, and it's a great way to be able to store and keep up with your precious metals, especially with these little gram bars. They're very, very cool from Summit Metals, so check them out at summitmetals.com. And number 2, gold's role as a strategic reserve is increasing. No question about that. That's a big one. We're going to go to the half-ounce eagle for that one. Yes, we saw the United States freezing Russian assets in 2022, and that helped to accelerate the purchasing of gold by central banks. And that was the first year that we saw a record amount, something we have not seen since 1967. That's right. But now the central banks are continuing to accumulate even now. And so that's what's going on, and they are buying like crazy. It's a big deal. And they don't really care what the price is either, it seems like. This is accelerated demand and helps to underpin the gold bull market that we're seeing right now. And it doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. We keep hearing about central bank after central bank buying gold. I recently did a video about Poland now having more gold than the European Union. It's pretty remarkable. The next one is going to be silver. Believe it or not, that's right. Now, I'm going to show this coin. This is that, I think this has a balance of copper, but it may have some silver in it too, but likely very little. But we're going to go with that coin for number 3. And silver. How will silver affect the gold market? Well, structural deficits in the physical silver market will come back to haunt the paper markets. Many people believe that. And so when the COMEX opens, this is only a game that can go on for so long, many people feel. And between 21 and 2024, the cumulative shortfall in the physical silver market was 678 million ounces. And there is a further deficit of 117 million ounces forecast for 2025. Many people believe this is not sustainable. Something will break in that market, thus setting the price much higher, which could have a boomerang effect on gold. And gold's price could increase as a result of following silver in that regard. And so the thing is silver, even though the ratio between the two metals is about 100 to 1, well, it very well could narrow greatly, at least to a point where it could have an impact on the gold market and feed back in on that regard. Can you imagine? Wow, that is unusual take, but I could see that as a possibility. They are related, believe it or not, even though silver is seen more as an industrial metal these days. We could see them kind of move together, at least to some extent. As the ratio narrows, gold could still benefit. And the fourth one is probably even more crazy to think about. Let's go with the quarter-ounce eagle on that one. Number 4, Bitcoin. Yeah, crazy. Who would have thought that? Bitcoin recently reaching $110,000 a Bitcoin. Many Bitcoiners, they laugh at gold reaching $3,300 an ounce and $3,400 an ounce. Because their coins have gone up to $110,000 a coin. But the report explores Bitcoin's rising significance as a potential reserve asset alongside gold. This reflects a broader rethinking of the global monetary structure where gold and Bitcoin can serve as a reserve in tandem, in other words, together. So that is pretty amazing to think about because they don't have to be competitors. The one thing that Bitcoin has in common with gold is it's a decentralized asset. At least that's the notion that we have it. Many people feel governments could take a hold of Bitcoin or some aspects of it, regulate it like crazy, and maybe even utilize it. We know that the United States wants to have a Bitcoin reserve, but nonetheless, that does not take away its independence from central banks. And that kind of thinking could bode well, and gold could benefit from it. And so there is that suggestion that, of course, Bitcoin could continue to rise dramatically. And, of course, if it does, investors may see gold as an alternative to that. So we'll see what will happen there. Number 5, we'll go. This is a little harder to make out. Number 5 is to understand how it's going to play out because it's a very scary word. And just as this is a scary image, which is very difficult to see, unfortunately, but this is St. George slaying the dragon in this anniversary issue sovereign here that I recently picked up for Queen Elizabeth. But that's a beautiful design. It's just kind of hard to see in the lighting. Hopefully you can make it out. But nonetheless, this one here, this number 5, is about stagflation. And some feel that a stagflationary environment is emerging. It consists of a cooling U.S. economy, inflation rates persistently above 2%, and many people feel that there's more to it than just that, and that the official CPI data only tells you some of the story. And then escalating trade wars and a potential of hot wars emerging, but that's geopolitics, not really related other than the controlled devaluation of currencies will further enhance the appeal of gold as it acts as both an inflation hedge and to preserve purchasing power over time. But what they're missing here, what makes stagflation, is high inflation along with low employment or high unemployment. Those are the two factors, and we're not there yet. But nonetheless, an economic downturn that could lead to stagflation is something that very well could be in the works, not just here in the United States, but around the world. So we're going to keep an eye on the economy. So economic factors essentially would be number 5 with stagflation and being a part. And then the next thing here is this is number 6, and that is going to be the classic gold. Here, this is the classic $5 gold piece that I got at my local coin shop some time ago. Before, I mean, the prices were pretty high, but that is something you like to have because this really shows you the longevity of gold, and especially is what we're seeing in the past. In this fiat era, we've seen gold mainly on the defensive, but now we're starting to see gold move from defense to offense. Amongst the wonderful plethora of sporting anecdotes, it is made very clear that gold are transitioning from a defensive play to an offensive play. More people are becoming aware of the performance of gold and will likely jump on board the train to take advantage of this. A lot of Western retail have yet to wake up, although we see Costco gold, going on fire, and that doesn't seem to be slowing down. And there's been more big purchases of gold as of late, and so you're starting to see it. But I think it very well could pile on even more. And combined with the devaluing of currencies, it will be gold's time to shine. And so we'll see what happens. So gold is certainly starting to become more in the forefront. People are taking notice of it. That's good. Number 7, what's going to be coming for gold's price? Many people feel that gold's price, and that is reflected on this 1/10 of an ounce, reflecting that as the price goes up, well, your purchases have got to go down in terms of weight because it's so expensive to buy a full ounce. That's what that 1/10 ounce represents. So when you think of everything else that we talked about here, this is what we've seen here. Things go wrong in the economy when currencies are devalued. When stagflation occurs, then gold benefits. Whenever there's economic uncertainty, then we see gold really start to shine. And that's what we've been seeing in recent history here. And gold breaking record highs. Many banks and others and professionals are thinking that's going to go maybe to $4,000 an ounce. The report itself here in Gold We Trust suggests $4,800 an ounce by the end of this year. Now, I don't agree with that, but you can understand why people are pretty bullish. If an inflationary scenario plays out, then the target would be $8,900 per ounce. But nonetheless, those are numbers thrown around. But the point is that it is something that is consistent, and most places are bullish. Most people are bullish on gold, even though it is touching all-time highs right now. All right, the bonus, and this is the new piece of gold I got. It is time. Number 8 is time, and this is a Restrike Austrian 20 francs 0.19 ounces of gold here. And that's what this is. This is the bonus one here, another addition to the stack here on layaway at my local coin shop. And just wanted to add it in. Some of this old world gold, I tell you what, it is becoming more attractive because it's lower premium. And it's very, very nice to be able to add something like that to the stack. That's a little bit different than there's just usual bullion. So this is an addition and representing time. What do I mean by time? Is that based off of the history of silver, it has never been not relevant, but it is more relevant than ever before because history is the guide here. The past is prologue, if you will. That's right. And that's what sets the stage for what we're looking at right now. None of these previous 7 points that I just brought to you could have ever taken place without the understanding of what gold has been for literally thousands of years. It influences the present time, but not just now, but also into the future. That means that gold has always been a stable store of wealth, and that will not and shall not change no matter how much we do in terms of digital assets or regulation or laws, empires, elections, generations, or what have you. Gold stands the test of time. It's always in vogue. It's the in thing, and it will always be the in thing because there's nothing that sets us apart any more than what gold has been, and gold really is what has stood the test of time. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I like to do videos like this every once in a while. So if you enjoyed this content, please share it with others, either on your community tab or on X or some other social media platform. Hope you will consider sharing it and getting the word out there. And press the thumbs up button and engage and subscribe to the channel. All of it helps. So with that, I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.